Welcome back, everybody, to another NBA video. Today is Tuesday, January 28th, as we're recording this, and there are 4 games on in the NBA. It's a smaller slate, but we're going to waste no time and hop straight into it. If you're wondering what the fuck is all this graph on our screen, we're on props.cash per usual. If you want to get on this app, make sure you use code GUT25 when you sign up. It is $25 a month, so if you're big into gambling, it's worth it. If you're not, it is not. Really, I'll be strictly honest with you guys. We're going to start in the Houston-Atlanta game and waste no time. We're going to be taking all of our plays on Underdog Fantasy, so that's where we're going to be getting all of them, but we're going to be researching them on props.cash as well as Props Madness. Starting with the points score, Trae Young to go over 23.5 points. Obviously, Houston struggles against point guards. As you can see at the top right there, the 3rd worst first opposing point guards this season. Not only that, but they've allowed a lot of point guards to go over their points marks very recently. So I expect that to kind of continue here with Trae Young. I get the volume hasn't really been there for Trae, but he's coming off 2 days of rest. And this season, when coming off of 2 days of rest, he's played really good, right? He's hit this in 4 of the last 4 games, including a recent game versus Utah and a recent game versus Denver. His usage were pretty high in those games, and he was able to see some good field goal attempts of around 17 per game. I expect that to kind of be the theme here, not as much the recent woes that he's had in the last 5, where he's only shooting about 13 to 12. I don't expect that to continue. I think that these are kind of outlier games, especially against Detroit, who's the #1 defense against opposing point guards, as well as Toronto is surprisingly very good against point guards. But he's going to see the minutes, as we all know, and he's hit over this in 4 of 6 games versus this Houston defense, as well as this Houston defense allows some of the most 3-pointers made, as well as some of the highest, not actually the highest, 3-point percentage to point guards. He's a -150 right now to go over his 3-pointers made mark, or a -142 on some books. Generically, he's about -150 across the board. These are a little off from when I looked, at least, unless they moved it up, which I kind of highly doubt. They were both about -150, -155 instead of -140, -145. But either way, he's around that mark of where he's heavily favored to go over his 3-pointers made mark, and I expect that to be a theme here as well to help out with this points line. They allow the 2nd most points in the paint to opposing point guards. They're also some of the best against other positions, so they're going to need the point guard to really start thriving. They're going to need Trae to go off, and I expect him to do that in this game. So we're going to take him here at 23.5 points. Heading on to our next play, we're going to be taking Amen Thompson to go over 18.5 points. I got him at 17.5 points. So that's where we're going to be taking him at. I got him at -120 on DraftKings. But this feels great, right? Obviously, you're like, oh, God, he's only hit this in 33% of games. Yeah, but that's because he wasn't a starter for damn near this entire year until recently. He's become the starter when he sees 30-plus minutes. He's hit this in 62% of games. Not only that, but he's hit this in 3 of the last 5, 6 of the last 10, averaging 21.8 and 19.2, obviously with his 33-point game last night. Now he's going against an Atlanta defense that allows a ton of points to opposing power forwards, as well as very high field goal percentages, so you feel great about that. You go to the Props Madness as well for this game, and it makes you feel even a little bit better here. As Amen Thompson with the 17, we can also look at Trae real quick. Trae versus the Rockets, 36% of his points come off the pick and roll, and they're the 2nd worst at that, so you feel really good there. Amen Thompson, they're the 6th worst in transition, where 27 of his points come from, but also 65% of his shots come from within the restricted area, where they rank 2nd worst in the entire NBA. So I feel awesome about that for Amen, as well as I think he's going to continue to see the volume. His chart down near is all green over here. Pick and roll ball handler, where 10% of his shots come, they rank 27th. They're 11th worst against the free throws cutting. There is no real number for that, so we can't look at that specifically, but I feel really good about the 17.5 mark. I think he's going to crush it. The field goal percentage is there. The volume has been there recently, about 12 plus in the past 5 games. I don't expect it to dip back down to 8, especially on 0 days of rest. On 0 days of rest, where he's plays 30 minutes, he's hit this in 5 of 5 games this season, with a recent game against Sacramento. I expect that to be a very common theme for Amen, as he has been a minutes warrior on this squad. Look at his minutes recently, dude. 39, 40, 41, 41, 41, 40, 41, 41. Like, it's insane. His lowest minutes since becoming a starter was 30.6 against the Pelicans. Since then, he's had 33 plus. 33 plus, or sorry, that wasn't when he became a starter. He became a starter right here. So it was for 30 plus in damn near every game, but yeah, every game he's had over 30 minutes since becoming a starter, because he became it right at the beginning of December, which is about like right here, 39-minute mark. So it'd be about 39, 38, 30, 39, 31. So he's seen a ton of volume here. And he's going to see a ton of minutes. He's a minutes warrior. His usage has gone up and up and up, what it seems like. So love to see that as well. He's becoming a focal point on this team. All right, we're going to head to our last bet here. Let me take that on UD so you get a good visual. Whereas I know everyone's going to ask me, oh, are you going to take his rebounds? Do you take his rebounds every time? And it's just not as good of a rebounding game, so I'm just going to kind of stay away from this. This Lakers-Philly game, I'm staying away from damn near at all costs. Golden State, kind of the same thing. We just have a lot of people resting who I don't know exactly when or where or how they're going to rest, so I'm going to stay the fuck away. But I am going to take 15.5 points of rebounds for Scoot. We were able to get this at 14.5 on books, so make sure you get it there. But for this line, I feel absolutely fantastic about it. Where the hell is Scoot? Right here for points and rebounds, going into a great matchup here versus the Milwaukee Bucks, who allow the most points to opposing point guards, as well as the second most rebounds to opposing point guards. Scoot has hit this in 3 of 3 games versus Milwaukee in his career. And he's hit this in 6 of the last 10 games, averaging 19.7 per game. Now, obviously, that's inflated with the 43, but it's still going to be very high nonetheless. I get he hasn't been hitting it too much recently, but you got to stick with me here. I think he's going to hit it tonight. I think he's going to see another big minutes game where he saw 30 last game. I think he's going to see probably roughly over 20 this game. And in games where he's seen over 20 minutes, he's just crushed this line pretty consistently. So when you go to games where he's played 20 minutes, he's hit this in 63% of games this season, 7 of his last 10 games as well. And again, another great matchup where they allow the most points in the paint, which is where Scoot does most of his damage. Not only that, but he's going to see the volume, right? He's had a few games where he's had low volume, but even in games where he has low volume, he still can hit this line with potential, but he's only hit 3 bad games of low volume. The rest of them have seen 11 plus shots. I expect something similar there where he gets a lot of volume at this game. He's also coming off of 1 day's rest, which normally bodes well for him. 11 of 18 games. And the 3-point shot, I don't expect to really fall like that, but they do give up a ton of 3-pointers this season. They also, again, allow the most points and rebounds to opposing point guards, as well as a lot of point guards have gone over this mark recently. If you look at this, 6 of the last 8 point guards have gone over this mark as well. These are just the numbers I look at. Free throw attempts, he might see a few today. They give up a good amount of free throws, 5th most free throw attempts to opposing point guards. So again, he could get to the line a lot, especially if he's attacking the rim with how bad their paint defense is against these point guards. This Portland team can spread the floor, so I expect them to do that tonight. And I feel like this should be an easy cash for Scoot Henderson. These are the 3 picks I have today. We're sticking with a lot of red, but I feel great about it. These are the picks I mainly want to be with. I was looking at Giannis. I looked at Dame. I didn't love either of those. I wanted to take the under, but it's a juicy matchup. So like those 2 things normally don't go together. If it's, I would rather take a low line with a bad matchup than take an under on a high line with a good matchup. Because the good matchup, he could pop up for either of these guys could pop up for fucking 50 at any point. They also could dish out the rock 15 times. I just don't want to take them with high lines against great matchups. I just kind of want to fade that. And I want to stay away from the Golden State and Lakers game for tonight. But we are going to be back with damn near daily NBA videos for you guys. So make sure to stay locked in and tune in with those. I want to thank you all for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.